You've been preparing your dog for fireworks season and it still isn't going the way you planned. Welcome to The Dog Who Asked for More, the podcast for dog parents navigating the messy, complicated parts of life with a dog so you can feel seen in something you've never been able to say out loud, walk away more confident in your decisions, and deepen your connection with the dog who asked you to show up differently. I'm Em, a dog mom and dog trainer who has been exactly where you are and who works with dog parents trying to figure out what their dog actually needs. Every year around this time, the advice starts circulating. Desensitize your dog to loud noises. Play firework sounds at low volume and gradually increase. Counter condition. Train through it. And some of that has its place, but here's what nobody says clearly enough. When a dog is already in the middle of a fear response, training is not available to them. The part of their brain that learns has gone offline. You can be doing everything right and it won't land because they're not in a state where anything can land. Fireworks aren't a training problem. They're a nervous system event. And a nervous system event needs a different kind of support entirely. The pressure this time of year is real because it's not just one night. It starts early, sometimes days, sometimes weeks before. Random booms in the neighborhood, neighbors lighting off all manner of noisy things, and your dog doesn't know when it's going to stop. So they stay elevated, and you stay alert watching them stay elevated. And the whole week leading up to it costs more than the night itself. And you're managing it mostly alone, figuring out what helps and what doesn't, trying to make the right calls without a lot of guidance on what the right calls actually are. Most of the people I work with spend July 4th in some version of survival mode, watching the sky, watching their dog, trying to get ahead of something that doesn't have a clean solution. And what I see most often is people trying to do more. More training, more preparation, more management, when really what the dog actually needs is less. Less stimulation, less pressure, more safety, more calm, more of the things that signal to their nervous system that this is survivable. I used to pet sit for a dog named Eddie. Eddie has since passed, but he was one of those dogs who just could not handle the noise. And I mean, could not. He would eat walls, literally. So every 4th of July, Eddie and I would hole up in the laundry room together, dryer running, full of tennis balls to muffle the sound. Just the two of us in there, riding it out. It wasn't elegant, but Eddie didn't need elegant. He needed contained, familiar, and not alone. And the dryer full of tennis balls gave him just enough white noise and just enough something else to focus on that we would get through it. And that's still the philosophy I use now. Not training, not fixing, just creating the conditions for surviving it safely. And here's the part that makes this hard, because some dogs do okay. Some dogs barely react. And when your dog is falling apart and someone else's dog is completely fine, you start wondering whether you've caused this somehow, whether better training earlier would have prevented it, whether you're doing something wrong in how you're responding. You're not. Fear of loud, sudden, unpredictable noise is a survival response. It's hardwired. Some dogs have more sensitive nervous systems than others. That's not a training failure. That's just the dog. And the response that helps, staying close, creating a safe environment, reducing stimulation, supporting the nervous system directly, that's not giving up on training. That's understanding what the moment is actually asking for. What I do now for Fitz and Toby is simple. White noise, TV on, Pet Matrix calm on a lick mat or a popsicle before things get loud so it has time to do its job. We hole up together. I never leave them alone or in a kennel unattended because a panicking dog could hurt themselves trying to get out. We play during the day to use up some of that energy in a good way. And the moment the big booms start early, we go inside and we stay inside. This year is going to be different for me. I'll be traveling for a wedding over the 4th. Fitz is staying at our old home with my old roommate, a familiar place with familiar people and a familiar routine. Because familiar is the whole point. You can't train your dog out of fear in the moment, but you can surround them with everything that signals safe. Toby doesn't hear as well as he used to, but he still gets shakes, and he still gets the same support. Pet Matrix calm, white noise, cuddles, and someone with him the whole time. Your dog doesn't need to be trained through the fireworks. They need to feel safe enough to survive them. Those are not the same thing. But that voice that says you should be doing more doesn't go quiet just because you understand that. You see the training videos, you see people talking about counter conditioning, and you wonder if you're taking the easy way out by just holding up and riding it out. You're not. Choosing safety over exposure during an active fear event is not the easy way out. It's the right call. The training, if you want to do it, happens in the quiet weeks when the nervous system is regulated and available, not in the middle of July 4th when the sky is exploding. And some dogs will never be okay with fireworks, and that's allowed. They don't have to be. They just have to get through it safely. And you just have to be there. The things that actually help, white noise, familiar environment, staying together, nervous system support before the event, those aren't complicated. They're just not what most of the firework content tells you to focus on. Pet Matrix Calm is what I use for both Toby and Fitz leading into high stress events, not in the middle of panic, before it. So it has time to work. Everything I use with them during this time of year is in their collections on the shop.pet store. You can find the link in the episode description. Here's the question I want to leave you with. What if getting through the fireworks safely is enough and you don't have to fix how your dog feels? You're not failing your dog by not having this solved. You're not failing your dog by holding up and riding it out. You're keeping them safe in a situation that has no clean answer. And that's actually the whole job this week. So be kind, spread joy, and remember, getting through it together is enough.